Sri Aurobindo, Mira, open my mind, my heart, my life to your light, your love, your power. In all things may I see the divine. Om Anandamayi, Chaitanyamayi, Satyamayi, Parami. Namaste, good morning, Vande Matram, welcome all of you. This evening we are going to discuss a beautiful topic and very rational topic, very interesting topic, that is on supreme science. The topic of this evening's discussion is on supreme science, very interesting science we have to explore with the writings of Mother and Sri Aurobindo, what they have described in their own creation, own writings, in their own words on supreme science. So the topic of this spiritual discussion for this evening will be on supreme science. Mother quotes it, the purpose of the supreme science is to unite with thee. The object of the supreme science is to unite with thee. A couple of couple of lines from her prayer, from the prayers of the Mother, will try to quote it on supreme science. The objective of the supreme science is to unite with thee. But the supreme science, Mother quotes in a prayer on it was actually prayed on 17th March 1914 in page 101. Mother quotes here, but the supreme science, O Lord, is to unite with thee. The topic of the discussion is to unite with thee, to trust in thee, to live in thee, to be thyself. And then nothing is any longer impossible to a man who manifests thy omnipotence. Just imagine how beautiful it is described. Of course, this is the first definition. It is the title of our discussion today. We'll try to quote it again. But the supreme science, O Lord, is to unite with thee, to trust in thee, to live in thee, to be thyself. And then nothing is any longer impossible to a man who manifests thy omnipotence. In Savitri also we'll get one beautiful line, a still identity they are owed to know. A still identity they are owed to know. Then second line we'll try to quote it. So long as one element of the being, one element of the being, one movement of the thought is still subjected to outside influence, entirely not possible. If anything, any one element of the being, one movement of the thought is subjected to the outside influences, not solely under thine. If it is some deviation is there, something is open to outside, not under thy influence wholeheartedly, then it can't be said that the true union is realized. For the true realization, entire being, entire thought, entire work, everything must be oriented and mixed with the divine. So that this union true union is realized. There is still the horrible mixture of without order and light. Here in the course, Mother quotes here, there is a mixture, horrible mixture without order and light. So it is there, the mixture, for that the entire wholehearted, of course this union is not next to impossible, not possible, realization is not coming. Sri Aurobindo also quotes in Savitri one line I can remember, and claimed deep union with its deep outer selves, claimed its deep union with its outer selves. Then third line we are quoting from the Mother. Grant, I implore thee, that all in my being may be identified with the thee. Grant, I implore thee, grant that all in my being may be identified with thee. May I be nothing else any more than a flame of love utterly awakened to a supreme realization of thee. Just imagine how this unity, how this great power, the power of the heart, the spiritual power, it is rising. The only intention, sole intention is the divine. I want to merge with thee. Realization, to a supreme realization of thee. And one line I want to quote from Savitri, and all was known by the light of identity. So many terms, couple of terms we have of course heard. Knowledge by identity, know by identity. Here the terms were in the quotes in Savitri, light of identity, and all was known by the light of identity. Then the fourth line will quote from Mother. So it was on 11th May. Previously, just before I was quoting from the 15th February 1914. This is the prayer from taken from 11th May 1913. So it is by becoming conscious of thy will and identifying ours with thine, conscious of thy will and identifying ours with thine, that there is found the secret of true liberty and all puissance. There is found the secret of true liberty and all puissance. The secret of the regeneration of forces and the transfiguration of the being. It can be idealized, it can be realized. So I will quote it again. It is by becoming conscious of thy will, becoming conscious of thy will first, then identifying ours with thine, second the identification, first becoming then identification, that there is found the secret of true liberty, the true liberty, freedom, the term comes, and all puissance, the secret of the regeneration of forces and the transfiguration of the being, the step by step process, becoming, then identifying, then third is it is found the secret of liberty and all puissance, then comes the secret of regeneration of forces, and then the last is transfiguration. So Savitri also, we can remember one quote, we can quote a good sentence from Savitri: disclosed would be the spirit's identity. Then next one, of course, mother's last the prayer, the part of the mother's prayer, will quote it for this purpose, supreme science, to unite with thee. The last sentence, of course, will quote from 11th May 1913. To be constantly and integrally at one with thee, to be constantly and integrally at one with thee is to have a assurance, to have the assurance that we shall overcome every obstacle. That assurance is there. To be constantly and integrally at one with thee, constantly and integrally one with thee, is to have an assurance. If this united, if this unity is constant and integral, then there will be assurance. This is, what is the assurance? That we shall overcome every obstacle, the obstacle that is coming on the way. Every obstacle we shall overcome, and triumph. We must overcome, then second, triumph over all difficulties. Overcome all obstacle and triumph over all difficulties, both within and without. Anything that any obstacle or any difficulties are coming, we must be within from and or without, we must overcome. Then Savitri, one line I will try to quote here. There lives out unity, supreme delight. That unity is there. There lives out unity, supreme delight. It is very interesting thing. So this is the thing, and another line: all in one's own self. So already we have from the education we have learned everything is ourselves. We have to explore. So nothing can be taught, all is in ourselves. So here mothers will try to quote one more line from mother's prayer. It is in one's own self. It is in one's own self that all the obstacles lie. All the obstacles, it is, everything is there. It is in one's self that all the difficulties are found. All obstacles there. It is in that one self, and also in that self also all difficulties are found. It is in one's self there is the darkness and the ignorance. Everything is there. So all that is here is part of our own self. Everything is what we see, what we hear, what we glimpse, or where these are the things. Actually, it is within oneself. So later on we'll go for this, after this supreme, we'll go few lines from Mother and Sri Aurobindo's quotation. We'll try to quote Sri Aurobindo on science. Already we have seen science is omnipotence in vain. What it does actually, it tears the covering only, and it does not penetrate into the truth. The formulation, the experimentation, the truth, the fact, the realization, everything is coming. Today it is coming. It may be a mental analysis, a little bit we are piercing inside, but after some time it gets contradicted, or it gets elevated. Things get changed. So there are so many things. Here Mother will see will see one beautiful message given by Sri Aurobindo. To see the composition of the sun or the lines of Mars is doubtless a great achievement. We are doing, we are exploring towards Sun, Mars also. That rover NASA has explored, left one rovers there. Just recently, we Sri Aurobindo quoted long back, but here we can see just now, to see the composition of the Sun under the or the lines of Mars is doubtless a great achievement, but problem is there. When thou hast the instrument of that can show thee a man's soul, thou as thou seest a picture, then thou wilt smile at the wonders of the physical science, at the playthings of the babies. So exploration of the sun and moon or Mars is not, it's undoubtedly it is a great achievement, but thing is that we have to that inner exploration yet to happen. But when thou hast the instrument that can, any instrument you have got that can show there is a man's soul, it is there well behind the heart, it is there in the depth. Theory is that we have to plunge, we have to get concentrated, you have to plunge, the things are there. We keep listening the terms, we keep listening the paths, we hear the paths, but thing is that if there is at all an instrument, that is instrument of course made by possibly by science, that can show a man's soul, as thou seest a picture, when you see clearly a picture that is hanging on on the wall or somewhere. So like this man's soul, if you can be able to see, then thou wilt smile at the wonders of physical science. Then only you will be happy that I have seen the soul, I have discovered the soul, not necessary to move it or pursue it in a unknowingly or in a blind way as the playthings of the babies. So second another couple of examples we'll see, definitions rather. What the soul sees and has experienced, here in the quotes here, what the soul sees and has experienced, that it knows, and the rest is appearance, prejudice and opinions. Just imagine, only the thought that is created by the soul, only what is the achievement done by the soul, only what a soul has seen, what was the soul has realized, that is the truth. What the soul sees and has experienced, that is that it knows, the rest is appearance, prejudice or opinions. Rest, whenever you see either mentally, vitally or physically, anything we go, these are all appearance, prejudice and opinion. Then second definition, second example here in the course, second message. Science talks and behaves as if it had conquered all knowledge. It behaves, it speaks of, that behaves and talks as if it has conquered all knowledge. Wisdom, as she talks, science talks, hears its her solitary tread echoing on the margin of immeasurable ocean. So this is the echo, solitary, as wisdom, it's somebody's wisdom that is highly greater than this knowledge. Knowledge is not wisdom. Wisdom is highest and widest thing is the wisdom. Wisdom, as she walks, hears her solitary tread he hears, because nobody has gone, he has explored, he has seen, it's her own solitary step echoing on the margin of immeasurable oceans. That is measurable, not measurable, in that ocean she actually measures. Then in a sonnet, a dream of surreal science, Sri Aurobindo, in the last concluding two lines, Sri Aurobindo quotes, a scientist played with atoms and blew out. Beautiful, really charming, very attractive. A scientist played with atoms and blew out the universe before God had time to shout. So these are the things it is there. A scientist played with atoms and blew out the universe before the gods had time to shout. So again here in the quotes, a brain by a disordered stomach driven, thundered through Europe, conquered and ruled and fell. From St. Helena went perhaps to heaven, thus waged the surreal world until. Just imagine how far Sri Aurobindo has gone there in her exploration and her narration, in his narration rather. So beautiful is another line we'll see. Science is chiefly useful for God lover and the God knower. Science is chiefly useful for the God lover and the God knower because it enables him to understand in details and admire the curious wonders of his material workmanship. So it is useful for these people who are God lovers and the God knowers. The one learns or cries, behold one, and the spirit manifested itself on matter.